Now I do a lot of steps, but my step count went from about 12,000 steps a day as high as 18, and then like a couple of days before the show got up to like 20,000 steps. But then like the HIIT training you see me doing on the track or running, that's all by choice.
Gotcha. That's extra.
For me to stay, because I like to stay active and explosive. That's what makes me happy.
So it's not necessarily you need to for the way you look. It's just something, a bonus you like to do.
I like to do it.
That's interesting.
To not lose that explosiveness or that, I love it. Like I love doing HIIT training. Like I love being on the track. I love running hills and stairs. So he allows me to do that.
That's a weird condition you got there.
Yeah, but I don't think what most people realize about it being cardio, like on the hills and stairs, I'm actually out there an hour. I'm only working for like 7 minutes.
Because you're going like...
Because you go hard as shit.
And then you're relaxing. Gotcha.
There's actually more rest than sprinting. Like, we were on the track yesterday for like an hour. We ran 4 100s. I did a open 300 and I ran a 200. There was more time warming up and resting than actually was sprinting.
Yeah, no, I get that. I could see that.
Yeah, and so people are like, well, you're out there an hour and 15 minutes. Most of the time I'm doing nothing.
Just out there shirtless, getting a tan.
Yeah, getting a tan. If I run one sprint, it's like 90 seconds to 2 minutes in between. After I run those hundreds, it's like 6 minutes rest before I go and run, my 300, because you want to be able to give it your all.
Okay.
You're not going to give it your all after 30 seconds.
No, hell no.
People underestimate that too. Like when they come out and run, they go, how far are you running? We're going to run a 200. That's half the track. Oh, it's not that far. Until they start running it. They're like, shit, that's far. Where's the 100-meter mark? See that white line way down?
Yeah.
They're like,
just put your head down and keep going.
Just keep going. Yeah.
How long do your gym sessions go for?
Right now, about 75 to 80 minutes. I still lift very heavy.
Yeah, that was my next question. It looks like you lift really heavy.
Yes.
Why is that? Like, I know a lot of guys that look like you, they do more, they're pumping up the muscle, they're going like muscle-mind connection. You seem to do that, but you do it on a Ronnie Coleman type approach.
So like I'll have like complex exercises, so like my hack squats. That's where I'm moving a lot of weight, but then I also do a little more volume with like leg extensions or certain other exercises, leg presses.
Okay.
So it's a combination of both, but in general, they're still both heavy.
Really?
For me.
Is that your coaches telling you to do that, or is that just
my coach? But I like that style as well.
And you find that works. You find that works best for you.
Yes. And the goal is for me is to stay as strong as possible. So what I'll do is I'll check my body fat, my visceral fat, my bone density, and all that stuff before my show, and I'll check it after my show. For a 45-year-old, my bone density is like 4.7, which is off the scale.
Gotcha.
And that's just from heavy lifting.
Gotcha.
And then the goal was to gain from that growing phase. So after almost a year, I gained about 1.4 pounds of lean body mass. So it took me over a year just to get 1.4 pounds. Based on, I've been lifting since I was 13. So the rate of return is much less.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like people think, I put on muscle fast. Not unless you're a beginner and you're on something.
Yeah.
Then,
it's still just
the longer you do this, your rate of return is a lot less.
Motivation-wise, you're a very motivated guy. Have you ever lost your motivation?
No. Motivation sailed.
I had a feeling you're gonna go.
Motivation sailed a long time ago. So
talk to me about that.
What I do is I find goals, and I'm big on keeping my word to myself.
I like that, making yourself accountable.
If you
holding yourself accountable, right?
If you can't keep your word to yourself, then like no one else can make you do it.
Interesting.
And I do understand that everybody's a little different, so you have to find what works best for you. Like I'm kind of a lone wolf. Like I'll train with my nephew because we're on the same page, but I'll laugh and joke with people. If I could have someone just show up and spot me and disappear, I'd be the happiest.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
I like socializing when I'm training.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm training other people, that's fine, but I like to get in, get out, and that's my time to work. So I found ways to set goals with whatever I do. So when it comes to my training, yes, I want numbers and I'm trying to PR. I'm trying to push. If I have it set in my head, I want to train 5 days a week, I'm going to train 5 days a week because I'm not going to let myself down. Because I believe if you allow yourself to do that once, it's easier to do it over and over
twice
again.
And then 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like that.
And then make excuses for yourself.
Yeah.
Which I'm guilty. When I was younger, it was like, you work hard so you can eat a little more. Okay, keep telling yourself that.
I love it.
You can find an excuse for anything that you do.
Absolutely. And you find an excuse for that excuse.
Yeah, so I set goals with my training. I set goals with my nutrition. I set goals with, my sleep, everything. And then that keeps me driven and focused. to not let myself down. It's not about anyone else. Yes, I have a coach and it's cool. I have people that support me, but at the end of the day, what I think matters most.
Talk to me about your diet. I know you're big on macros.
Mm-hmm.
How many meals you're having a day? What are you generally eating? Carbs, no carbs?
A lot of it depends on the phase that I'm in, and I'll be honest with you, I spread my meals out just so I stay satiated. So obviously, being in a cutting phase right now for the show and get ready for a photo shoot, I space that out so I'm fed throughout the day. Now, when I'm in a gaining phase, well, obviously I have more macros. So like right now I eat about 6 times a day, so it's spread out so I have energy.
Okay.
Whereas like when I'm in a gaining phase, sometimes, it's pretty structured during the week because I'm a very structured person. But on weekends, during the week it could be 6 meals. On the weekends could be 2.
How do you get a 6-pack? Is there a secret? Oh,
Nutrition.
Yep.
Every skeleton or cadaver I saw in anatomy class had abs.
Everybody's got abs, right?
Everybody has them. It's just dropping your body fat low enough to be able to see them. Now, I'm huge on obviously still training them to get them a better look. But at the end of the day,
yeah, that was my next question.
You have to get rid of the body fat. If you don't drop the body fat, you're never going to see
them. You're never going to
exposed.
see them, right? It's kind of having a shirt and something there, and it slowly just disappears.
And people will spend countless hours training their abs. You ask them about their nutrition. It's like,
I see that all the time. People sitting there on sit-ups and they got a keg and like, probably should change yourself a bit.
Focus on your nutrition.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more activity. But definitely your nutrition, instead of all those crunches, all those side bends and stuff you're doing, it's not going to expose your abs anymore.
There's all this fancy spancy.